One of the things that came out of his research in his book is what they called the Hedgehog Principle. The hedgehog is a metaphor, of course. Now, we know the hedgehog to be a little, an animal, if you will. And a hedgehog, whenever a predator comes up, the hedgehog balls up into a little ball with these little prickly things on it to keep a predator from, of course, enjoying it as a meal. I think we may even have a picture of a hedgehog somewhere. There it is, bless it. Wouldn't you want to take that thing home and let it poke your hand or your finger? Don't be threat to it, otherwise it'll ball up and those little prickly things will come out. But the idea is the hedgehog actually has this simple process. So let's look at what Jim Collins says about it. The hedgehog concept: simplicity leads to greatness. That's the general thought. Simplicity leads to greatness. When confronted by predators, the hedgehog's instinct is to curl up into a protective ball. The single response is simple and works as a response to any attack. The transition from good to great. Companies should focus on doing one thing better than anyone else in the world. This single function will become the organization's hedgehog concept. This single function will become the organization's hedgehog concept. The question is, what can a nonprofit, what can a business or organization do exceptionally well or better than anyone else and continue to do it? That's part of my concern about mainline Christianity and mainline churches, and with no exception, even the United Methodist Church. 100 or 120 years ago, most of the mainline churches were growing, and most of them were killing it. As the population of the United States grew, the denominations grew. Methodist, Lutheran, Presbyterian, Episcopal, they all were growing. They all focused on their hedgehog principle, if you will, and that's reaching people for Christ. United Methodist Church was birthed December the 24th, 1784 in Baltimore, Maryland. It was literally called the Baltimore Conference. It was at that Christmas Eve conference that they voted to become a Methodist body here in North America. The United States, as you know, was very young. In fact, in 1784, we still haven't voted on the Bill of Rights yet. There was a lot still yet to happen in our young country, but it was birthed around the same time. We were the last mainline denomination to get here. From 1784, though, to 1824, within 40 years, we became the fastest growing denomination in North America. From 1784 to 1824. From 1824 on, we planted more than a church a day. Sometimes we were planting 2 churches a day. The United Methodist Church has more hospitals, Christian schools, orphanages to its credit than all the other denominations put together. We've started. Methodist Hospital in Houston, Texas is almost 8 blocks in circumference. Duke University, of course, is a Methodist. We've got 5 major colleges right here in Western North Carolina, and I think at least 4 or more, maybe 5, in the the eastern part of North Carolina. We got Greensboro College, Bennett College, which was an African-American women's college, High Point University. Did I mention Greensboro College, Brevard? And so we planted these colleges and universities as Methodist people. Many of them started out as women's colleges because we believe women should be educated. Ladies, you can say amen anytime you want to. And it was called, Greensboro College was called the Women's College, started in 1835. West Market Street Methodist Church was started across the road. Guess who started it? Circuit-riding preacher by the name of Peter Dow. We had at our heart the primary focus of the church, and that's to reach people for Christ. But over the last 7 or 8 decades, we've become more like the Garden Club, the Rotary Club, the Kiwanis Club, Glee Club, Who Club, whatever club. And isn't it interesting that in corporate America today, they even have departments called a Department of Kindness, where even companies and corporations are saying you've got to give so many volunteer hours out into the community. So doing good has become a cool thing, which is good. I applaud all of that. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not being sarcastic in the least. I'm just saying that the church, though, if that's all we do, and we don't do the one thing that Jesus Christ asked us to do, we won't be killing it, we'll be missing it. And we'll be missing it altogether.